Good morning. Welcome to Friday Focus on the 6th of November. Wow. So, Guy Fawkes Day just shot past, didn't it? How are we all doing? Second day of lockdown? It's quite tough, isn't it? I feel a bit fragile. I feel a bit overwhelmed with everything. Needless to say, in my particular profession, obviously, I'm completely now inundated because Rishi's changing everything, and I'm trying to let all of my clients know exactly what's going on and what they can apply for, what they're eligible for, etc. As well as obviously keeping everything going on a daily basis and for home. So it's tough, isn't it, guys? Put your comments in the box. It would be lovely to hear how you're all doing. Are you all managing okay? Is there anything that I can do to help you as well? So today we are going to talk about stress and money. Stress and money. They go together, don't they? In a huge way. What can we do? What can we do to make things better as far as stress and money are concerned? So, there are so many different definitions of stress and so many ways to deal with it. And during these really nasty times of COVID, the stress and anxiety cases in the UK alone have increased by over 76%. Now, that's absolutely massive, hugely terrifying, and just that's not on. It's not on. We've got to do what we can to help people with their mental health as far as stress and money is concerned. So, in my particular case, I have a lot of stress as far as money is concerned, but it's actually not necessarily my money. It's my mum's money because I manage her money because she's blind and disabled. And having to manage her money, pay her bills, reconcile her bank accounts, etc., is quite tough. But as far as my own money is concerned, my own business is concerned, I'm continually stressed about it, totally stressed about it. We all have it, don't we? We wake up in the middle of the night, and while we try and get back to sleep, your mind veers onto that topic of money. And before you know it, you are in full-blown 2 a.m. panic mode, during which you lose sleep. You don't do anything. You can't do anything. You're almost sort of like a rabbit in the headlights, or deer in the headlights. Never know which one it is. And what begins as a passing thought to remember, oh, I mustn't forget to pay that bill, can suddenly leave you worried about how you pay your bill if you lost your job. What happens if in 3 months we're going back into another lockdown, or whatever it happens to be, and Mr. Lovely Sunak is not doing what he's supposed to be doing or could be doing for limited companies, which he's clearly not at the moment, and people can't manage on the self-employment or the furlough schemes, even though it's been extended now to March, which is great. But what can we do to stop ourselves worrying about this? How do we climb out of that debt? How do we climb out of that terror, that fear that we have? If the topic of money leaves you in a cold sweat, there might be actually a deeper reason behind this stress. Now, obviously, at the moment, the stress is horrendous because of COVID and not knowing. It's the unknown, isn't it? I think not knowing what the heck we're up to and what's going on. But if there is a deeper reason for this stress, is there something that we can do? Have we got debt? And is there anything that we can do to try and stop it, sort it, whatever it happens to be? What is our budget looking like? Do we have a budget? Actually, is more to the point in a lot of people's cases. And how can we start to take control of our money instead of our money taking control of us? And I think this is absolutely key, because when things are out of kilter, out of our control, we let the stress take over. And if that stress takes over, then we are like a deer or rabbit in the headlights, and we can't do anything. So what are the things that we could do to really help that stress? Looking at our budget, that is our number one thing. Looking at our budget, and it's not just our budget, but it's our expenses. What have we been doing? If our personal budget is out of whack, then we're going to be more stressed about our finances. What can we do to help this out? So if it is your budget that's stressing you out, there are certain things that you can do. It's called the review, reduce, and pay off. Review is going over all of your bills and your expenditures. Make sure all of your numbers are accurate. Make sure that everything that you're putting into your budget, your spreadsheet, whatever you're using to keep an eye on your personal expenditure, make sure that it is up to date and it is correct. The things that can fluctuate from month to month because of, car repairs, health emergencies, travel. Well, we're obviously not traveling at the moment. Anything that's unpredictable. Make sure that those are already put in and for whichever month it is, when you know that your MOT is due for your car or your tax is due for your car, whatever it happens to be. Make sure they're already put into your budget. Reduce. Is there anything that you can do to make sure that you are always in the black at the end of each month? Without fail. Is there anything that you can cut down? Is there a subscription that you've got that you don't really need, that you don't really need to absolutely have? If you've got a TV package or a phone bill or whatever it happens to be, is there any way that you can cut down on that expenditure? Pay off. Create a debt plan. On my website, hettyverney.co.uk, you will see one of the blogs is called 7 Steps to Debt Free. And it is such a simple way to help you become debt free. It's called the Debt Snowball, and it turns everything on its head completely. But have a look and see if there's anything that you need as far as that's concerned. Sometimes, and I've had this. Sometimes we suffer from financial shame, and it's a massive thing. We need to think about our past financial management. If we've done something that hasn't worked out properly, that we haven't looked after properly, whether it's our business or our personal finances, we need to get rid of that aura of shame. It's really, really important. It doesn't matter whether it's a lack of money or incorrect budgeting or just being ignorant of the proper financial practices, whatever we need to do, whatever. Unfortunately, that shame can really perpetuate a cycle of anxiety and create an enormous amount of stress. But also, it can also create a huge amount of future mismanagement. So if that's something that you need to look at, see if there's something that you can do. You'll notice it because, sorry, I got something in my eye. When you're feeling embarrassed about money, remember that a lot of us have suffered from this financial shame, and there's a lot that we can do to help ourselves get over it. One big thing that I think helps with stress and money is comparing yourself to others, especially online with social media. My God, it's a blooming nightmare, isn't it? But they're often, nowadays, people's social media isn't quite so full of friends' pictures of trips and cars and this is what I've done and that's what I've done and this is my indicator of wealth and all the rest of it. And how does it make you feel? It makes you feel rubbish when it's there, but obviously at the moment it's going to be slightly different. So we know where we fall on that measuring stick, but if we continually compare ourselves to other people, then we're never ever going to make sure that we get over this stress. Is there anything else that you can do to stop comparing? Stop that scrolling. Stop the scrolling through Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all the rest of it. Just to remember when you are comparing, if you have to do this, is that you don't know what's in their bank account. You have no idea whether that person who's posted something on Instagram with their picture of their new car or their new sofa in their house or whatever it happens to be, they may look as though they enjoy plenty of success, but actually it could easily be a courtesy of credit cards, debts. You don't know. You don't see the hard work and the sacrifice that goes along with that financial success. Your friends' journeys or the people that you're following, not necessarily your friends, they're not yours. Your experiences are unique. Many people post the best version of themselves on social media, and perception can be skewed. I think it's so important to keep some parts of our lives private because we don't need it all out there and nobody else needs to see it necessarily. The only person who can change the internal stress that you're going through is yourself. So if you can reduce that by stopping comparing and stopping scrolling through Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, and all the rest of it, then please do so, because it will reduce your stress hugely. Now, this might sound really counterintuitive, but consider the worst. One of the best coping techniques for financial anxiety is to consider the worst. The worst is probably a trigger for much of your money stress. Whatever it is to you, take a few minutes to actually ponder what would happen if it came to light. So I catastrophize a huge amount. And when I worry about something, whether it's finances, whether it's my family, my children, my mum, whatever it happens to be, in my mind, I have already moved on to the future, and I am worrying about what is going to happen if, what if, all those what ifs that go through my brain. And it creates an enormous amount of stress, and it's pointless. I remember when my eldest son, who's now 28, when he was learning to drive, when he just learned to drive, and he just got his first car, and I knew he wasn't a brilliant driver. I knew he drove fast. He was an 18-year-old boy, typical thing. And I used to worry continually when he went out, and I used to lie awake until he got back and all the rest of it. And if he was more than half an hour late than I thought he was coming back, in my mind, he had had a crash. He was in a ditch. Nobody else was going to be there to help him. Or he was already in hospital, and I was going to visit him, and I could play this whole thing out in my mind, and it was exhausting, and it was rubbish. It was complete and utter rubbish. It was just my mind playing tricks. And our mind plays so many tricks on us. And it is so important to try not to catastrophize. So if you can consider what the worst would be and put a contingency plan in place now. So if, God forbid, you lost your businesses, or you lost your work, or your jobs, or whatever it happens to be because of this COVID thing, or not necessarily because of COVID, just because of life, and you got yourself into debt, what would be the worst you could happen? Because sometimes if you do think about the worst, you can actually set up a plan of how to deal with it, and it makes an enormous difference. So the next point is educate yourself. And fear of the unknown causes a huge amount of stress and worry. Hey, Nathan, lovely to see you. Thank you for coming on. So where was I? Educating yourself. Yeah. Fear of the unknown causes us to stress about money in a very big way. For instance, if you want to save for retirement, but you've got no idea where to start, then you're going to be worried about that future. If you think you need some sort of life insurance, but you don't understand the difference between all the different types and what they all mean, you're likely to feel really, really confused. And sometimes that confusion gives us a lot of fear and stress, but also we don't know where to turn. We don't know who to talk to. We might feel a little bit stupid asking the question. Never, ever, ever feel stupid asking the question. Asking the question is the best possible thing that you can do. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a teacher in any way, shape or form, but I do teach people how to run their businesses and how to do their accounts and how to implement profit first into their businesses, etc. And if my clients or the people in my groups and things like that don't ask the questions, I'm not going to know what they need to know, and therefore I can't put out the information that they need. So you need to ask. You have to ask. In the case of finances, ignorance is definitely not bliss. By taking the matters into your own hands and educating yourself, money stops being a massively stressful enigma. So just try and work on it. Try and work it on if you can. If you've got a partner, managing your money with somebody else always means that you can halve that worry, halve that blame. Sometimes it's really difficult. Sometimes it's really difficult to talk to our partners about finances, especially if we've got that sort of finance shame as well. But it's also very, very important to be able to do this. And whilst constantly worrying about money is detrimental to your well-being, retaining some sort of concern over your finances might actually protect you from making poor spending or saving decisions. For example, being preoccupied with the future could actually inspire you to start saving more seriously. If you're as I say, I teach people how to implement profit first into their businesses. This is a really, really good, clever, but very simple way to make sure that you're saving for the future. Make sure that you're saving to pay yourself. If I hadn't done Profit First 2 years ago, then I would not be in the financial position that I'm in now. It is so, so important. Lisa, that is so true. Highly recommended, Lucy says. Hang on, Lisa says, I'm just going to show this. There we go. Lucy Sheridan's The Comparison Cure. It really helps with comparisonitis. It's absolutely brilliant. Oh, so right, Lisa. So right. Absolutely. I always believe the only stupid question is the one you don't ask. Oh my God, yes, absolutely. That is just so right. But keeping some sort of concern over your finances might actually help you move forward. Using something like Profit First will really, really help you plan for the future. Make sure that you are saving a percentage of your income every single month or fortnight, whenever it is that you're going to do your allocations. But my final word on this, and I need to take advice on this one as well, is staying up at night worrying about money won't magically make cash appear into a depleted bank account. It can't. So if you can help yourself decide how to save for your retirement or what insurance it is that you need, and educate yourself, talk to people, ask questions. Anybody is out there to help. I'm here to help. If anybody needs anything, I'm more than happy to help. I'm no expert as far as my own personal finances are concerned. I'm just a normal person. Okay, I've got the experience of being an accountant and working in finance for how many years I've worked in. But I am just an ordinary person who suffers from anxiety and worry and stress, just like everybody else. It's almost always because my brain is so overloaded and it needs some help to sort out that rubbish. As Denise Little says, who is my mindset research coach, and I'm going to put in her, I'll put in her contact details in here because she's absolutely brilliant. I quite often text her and I say, Denise, my brain needs a bit of emptying. Can you help? And she is just fabulous. She puts me under, and it's just wonderful. But please ask. Please ask for help if you need anything, if you need any advice, if you want to know anything. If I don't know someone, if I don't know myself, I will always know somebody who can help. I'm sorry, this one's been going on for a bit longer than I usually do, but I hope you have a great weekend. Make as much as you can of the sun. Get out there as much as you can. Change your routine a bit. I think it's so brilliant. Nathan, absolutely. My brain is overloaded at the moment and I need to clear it. And sometimes you need to do a massive brain dump. Have a look on my website, Nathan, and you'll see all sorts of blogs on how to do brain dumps and things like that. And it really, really helps. But if there's anything I can help with anybody, please let me know. And there will be, at the moment, daily updates on my website about what what the government are going to provide, what you can do, what you're eligible for, etc. But also sign up to my emails on my website, and you'll get the automatic updates. Have a fabulous weekend, everybody, and thank you so much for being here. Bye.